Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be working with everything that we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about linear equations, graphs, tables, and the verbal situations and how they all work together. We're going to be given one representation of a linear relationship and have to find the other three. This time we're given the verbal situation. So we're going to read the problem and look for the slope or the rate and the beginning amount. You and your friends go to the state fair. It costs $5 to get into the fair and $3 each time you go on a ride. So I'm going to highlight what I see. $5 to get into the fair and $3 each time I go on a ride. One of those is our beginning amount. One of those is our rate. So the beginning amount is 5 because it happens right at the beginning and it happens only once. But this 3 happens each time I want to go on a ride. So that happens repeatedly. That's our rate or our slope. So we're going to use this information to write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Remember that m stands for slope and b stands for the y-intercept. So in place of m, I'm going to put 3 because it's my slope, because it says each. And in place of b, I'm going to put 5 because that's where I started. Now we're going to use the equation to fix our table. I'm going to put some nice small numbers in for x. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 5 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 5 is 11. Then I'm going to take these ordered pairs over to my graph and plot them. Remember that the first number in the ordered pair is the x-coordinate. It tells me to go across. Well, if I start at the origin and my first coordinate is 0, it really says don't go across. My y-coordinate tells me to go up to the 5. For 1, 8, starting at the origin, I'm going to go to the right 1 and up 8. And for 2, 11, go back to the origin, go to the right 2, up 11, and draw your line. So all 4 of these representations represent the same thing. Okay, here's your second problem. This time we're given a table. So let's look at the table. I see that we have time in hours and cost in dollars. So we're going to take the numbers in the table and plot them on the graph. So 0, 7, 1, 9, 2, 11, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Now, even though I've got 4 points on the table, I only plotted 2. 1, 9 is going to be right here on the line, and 3, 13 is going to be right here on the line. So as long as my line crosses that place, then I'm going to be okay. Now we're going to write the equation. So we need the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to take some points out of this table, use my slope formula, subtract on the top, subtract on the bottom, and divide. The y-intercept I can find either by looking at the graph on the y-axis or at the table where x is 0. So we see that our y-intercept is 7. So here's our equation. Instead of y equals mx plus b, we're going to write y equals 2x plus 7. Lastly, we need to create a situation to write for the verbal part. So I know it should have something to do with time and dollars, but you can see in my example, I chose to change it up a little bit to games and dollars. So I might have changed that to say $2 for each hour I played the games. Last one. This time we're given a graph. Look at the numbers on the graph and look at the words. That's going to help us. So I see on the x-axis, linear feet, and on the y-axis, cost in dollars. So that's going to be the top of my table. I'm also going to pick out some nice points, put them in the table. Remember to put your x coordinate in the left-hand column. Okay, to write the equation, I need the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to use my slope formula with 2 of the points. Subtract on the top, subtract on the bottom, then divide. My y-intercept can be found either at the table at 0 or on the graph at the y-axis. So I see that my slope is 15, my y-intercept is 150. Now my words are going to have to do with fence installations. So I'm going to say the cost to install a fence is $15 per linear foot and a $150 labor fee. That means whoever's coming to work in my yard is I have to pay for that labor. All right, now it's time for you to practice on your own.